Well, good morning internets. Here we are. We have a start to another day. It's been a good morning so far. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, woke up really early this morning. Like 5:30 this morning. It was about plus 12 Celsius, which is probably the normal for mornings this time of year. A minute or two. Got up for a minute or two and crawled back into the nice warm bed because, well, you know, there's no point in being awake this early if you don't need to. Well, I tried to go back to sleep, however my brain kept turning, kept working. And I've got a few things on my mind. It has been a great few camping days here. Yesterday was a good day. They were forecasting rain, however, rain never came yesterday. Yesterday would have been a good night to have had a fire, except well, you know, I just didn't. It's no real fun having a fire by yourself, and by the time you go through all the, what do you want to call it, hassle, headache it takes to light the fire, you want to make sure that you have enough hours to enjoy it. And, well, really, I was asleep probably before 10 o'clock last night. So really I would have had to have lit the fire at like supper time to really got much enjoyment out of it, or to have cleanly burnt all the wood that was in the fire pit. That's one of my pet peeves about people, some people when they camp, is they stoke the fire all up and then about an hour and a half they decide they want to go to bed, so then they pour water on it, leaving behind a bunch of unburnt wood, you know. So then the next person comes in the campground, they clean out the fire pit, they throw all that one unburnt wood into the trees or out or whatever, and then continue on. However, that's not nearly as big as one of my other pet peeves of people who fill the fire pit full of garbage and then just leave it for the next person. One, if you're going to create garbage, then take care of it. Preferably pack it out of where you are, don't leave it behind. If you're in a campground, then put it where it needs to be, in the garbage bins. If you're practicing my style, or the old style I used to camp with, then you deal with your garbage yourself. And at the end of your 2-week-long camping trip, the only garbage that you're going to have is, you know, half a dozen or a dozen or so burnt, clean, sanitized, burnt tin cans. Everything else gets took care of, and it's clean. I find it hard, this style of camping that I'm currently doing, because, well, everything creates garbage. You know, packaging, plastic wrap, wrappers, you know, even you know, like water bottles and stuff like that. One thing I do notice is I drink a lot of fluids, a lot of water, especially if it's hot. And in the apartment I have the water cooler, and I don't notice it because they're the 19-liter jugs, so there is no empties except for the jug every week or so that you have to fill. Where when you're camping, you spend 4 or 5 days camping, and you have the better part of a garbage bag full of empty bottles, plastic bottles to return. Now, if a person was living in their vehicle or in their RV, the precious space those 10-cent plastic bottles take up is not worth the precious space they take up. So obviously that's where things like bulk water come in handy, and you drink from a cup, a reusable cup, and those, what are they called? Clear Stream or Soda Stream machines. They have that pressurized canister, and you put a bottle, what I think is a bottle of syrup, and it kind of like does something with a something, sort of like a mini fountain pop machine or something. Apparently that's supposed to replace a bunch of plastic pop type bottles, and if that part of my life ever gets underway, then I may have to invest in something like that to cut down on the plastic waste, as well as being aware of your recycling centers in the areas you're in, because really it just takes 10 minutes or so to run in, return 4 or 5 bags that you've had kicking around for a week or two. Then you might get $10 out of it, or you can just cut it all together and not worry about the excess plastic to have to deal with. Well, today is the last, today is the day that I leave the campground here. It's been a good few days. However, of course, this day was coming. I tried to extend it for another night or two, but they're booked up. Of course they are. This year has been crazy. People started calling in like April to May to book stalls for July, August, and September. And a lot of people didn't get stalls. So having the time here that I had is I'm most grateful for. I tried to book, and they got someone coming in here today pretty much whenever I pull out of here, preferably by noon, because that's when the checkout time is. I've got a few ideas floating through my head on where to go. I've got an idea in my mind to do something I've kind of been wanting to go back to for what's it been, the last couple of years, 2-3 years now, that I couldn't get back to last year nor the year before. I'm going to take the scenic route and stop at 1 or 2 stops along the way, and by probably 5:30, 6 o'clock this evening, we'll probably end up camping in a Walmart parking lot for the night. And then the next morning, I think we move into a campground for 4 or 5 days. And then the next leg of the journey from there, I believe. But gonna have a relaxing morning here, gonna enjoy my coffee, start doing a little bit of a cleanup and getting things ready to go back on the road. When I know more, I will do another check-in.